US and Japan military join amid pandemic to eye on China and South China Sea. The coronavirus has not stopped the US and Japan from holding joint military exercises. As the Allies keep watch on China's increasingly assertive maritime maneuvers in the East and South China Seas amid the pandemic. The U.S. Air Force B-1 bombers and 16 F-15 and F-2 fighters from Japan's Air Self-Defense Force held joint drills over the Sea of Japan and around Okinawa on Wednesday. Said General Yoshinori Narumo, Chief of Staff for the Air Self-Defense Force, "These are very important as we further strengthen the deterrence and capabilities of Japan and the U.S. acting jointly." This mission is a demonstration that we have the ability to operate from numerous locations across the globe. Even during the global pandemic, General Tim Ray, commander of the Air Force Global Strike Command, said after a drill in late April during which a B-1 flew to Japan from the contiguous the U.S. and teamed with Japanese fighter jets. The Allies also seek to hold the Rim of the Pacific International Maritime Warfare exercise hosted biennially by the U.S. Navy. Despite concerns that the event will be cancelled due to the coronavirus, plans call for holding RIMPAC in August at a smaller scale and shorter duration than usual. This will contribute to the realization of a free and open Indo-Pacific, said ADM Hiroshi Imamura, Chief of Staff of Japan's Maritime Self-Defense Force. The aircraft carrier USS Theodore Roosevelt departed the South China Sea region weeks ago due to a coronavirus outbreak aboard ship, and infections have occurred on other American naval vessels. Chinese maritime operations have continued even after the virus spread, fueling concern in the US and Japan about East Asian security. China claims almost the entire South China Sea as territorial waters, from its coastline out to the 9-dash line demarcated by Beijing. This has enormous international implications because of the oil, natural gas and merchant trade in the region, according to retired US Navy ADM James Stavridis. China steadfastly maintains its claims despite losing an international arbitration case and facing resistance from littoral nations, notably Vietnam and the Philippines, he added. In the East China Sea, official Chinese vessels sailed in Japan's contiguous zone around the Senkaku Islands, administered by Tokyo, and claimed by Beijing, 289 times during the January-March period, up 60% on the year, the Japan Coast Guard has said. In April, 6 Chinese ships including the aircraft carrier Liaoning sailed through waters between Okinawa's main island and Miyako Island, and returned by the same route for the first time. Japanese Defense Minister Taro Kono talked separately, by phone and video conference with 12 foreign counterparts in April and May, including those from the group of 7 nations and countries bordering Japan's sea lanes. Kono told his counterparts, referring to China without naming it, Japan is strongly opposed to attempts to unilaterally change the status quo with force. Past that Chinese authorities told a Japanese delegation visiting Beijing that they were considering establishing the East China Sea as Beijing said the matter required discussion as its plans overlapped with Japan's air defense zone. The news angered Tokyo, which responded by establishing an EDIS of its own, encompassing the Senkaku Islands, known as Diaoyu in Mandarin, a group of uninhabited islands in the East China Sea that are claimed by Japan, mainland China and Taiwan. Tensions between Tokyo and Beijing escalated after the former bought the Senkakus from a private owner in September 2012, prompting Beijing to announce its EDIS in November of the following year. While relations between Japan and China have improved in recent years, tensions between Beijing and Washington have been steadily rising, with the two sides clashing on multiple fronts, from trade and technology to military and ideological issues. Their relationship has come under further pressure as a result of the COVID-19 pandemic. With senior officials trading accusations and insults over their respective handling of the health crisis and the possible origins of the deadly coronavirus. While Beijing regards almost all of the sea as its sovereign territory, Vietnam, the Philippines, Taiwan, Malaysia and Brunei have conflicting claims. China has sought to build closer ties with its Southeast Asian neighbors in recent years. Drew Thompson, a visiting senior research fellow at the Lee Kuan Yew School of Public Policy, National University of Singapore, said it risked jeopardizing them if it announced a South China Sea EDIS. Drew Thompson said, such a declaration would severely damage China's relations with Southeast Asian states, which until now have largely acquiesced to China's assertiveness in provocations, including land reclamation and militarization of features.